To most of the world, the name Versace evokes luxury, opulence, and a timeless glamour. The family-built empire, once led by the legendary Gianni Versace, defined an era of high fashion, adorning supermodels and celebrities alike. But behind the glitzy facade of couture gowns and Milanese runways lies a far more complex narrative, one marked by loss, pressure, and personal battles. At the heart of this story is Allegra Versace, the quiet, enigmatic heir to the Versace fortune. While many would assume inheriting immense wealth is a dream, Allegra's journey proves that privilege often comes at a steep price. Her life, shaped by tragedy, expectation, and personal struggles, paints a sobering picture of the burdens that come with legacy. From an early age, Allegra was immersed in the glamorous yet isolating world of high fashion. Born in 1986 to Donatella Versace, the creative voice behind the brand, and Paul Beck, an American model, she grew up surrounded by icons of the industry, frequently rubbing shoulders with the likes of Madonna, Elton John, and Naomi Campbell. However, while her mother thrived in the spotlight, Allegra was a reserved and introspective child, more drawn to literature and art than the extravagant world that defined her family. Even in a household built on fashion, she never seemed to truly fit the mold. Allegra Versace and her younger brother, Daniel, who is now 29 and a musician, grew up in a world of luxury just outside Milan. According to People, Allegra was merely 2 days old when she attended her first Versace fashion show, marking the beginning of a life intertwined with hot culture. As a young girl, she was often sent to school in the trendiest outfits. Reflecting on her stylish upbringing, Donatella Versace once told Harper's Bazaar in 2007 she was the best-dressed little girl in Milan. Allegra herself recalled the extremes of her designer wardrobe, sharing, "My mom dressed me in silk to go to elementary school. In kindergarten, they sent me home because I couldn't do the finger painting in my dress." Despite her glamorous surroundings, she pursued her deep passion for ballet, dedicating 9 years to the art. Her uncle, Gianni Versace, recognizing her love for dance, once gifted her the opportunity to perform with ballet legend Maurice Béjart for her birthday. Her uncle saw something different in Allegra and developed a close relationship with his niece. Gianni had 2 other nieces and nephews, but Allegra was clearly his favorite. Gianni once told Vanity Fair, "I like to talk to Allegra. She tells me the truth about Donatella. She'll say, 'Gianni, don't worry, she's always a little bit exaggerated.'" Allegra was bestowed by his design skills and wizardry, once reportedly telling him, "You are a magician, uncle." She wasn't alone in that sentiment. Gianni Versace, often hailed as the architect of 80s and 90s bold, sexy fashion, revolutionized the industry with his daring use of studs, chainmail, and classical Roman motifs. His signature sleek silhouettes helped define the concept of bodycon, emphasizing power and sensuality in a way that became iconic. Beyond fashion, Gianni played a pivotal role in elevating supermodels to celebrity status, transforming Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, and Claudia Schiffer into household names. His designs were adored by rock stars and A-list celebrities, and he was frequently seen alongside close friends like Madonna and Elton John. In fact, Elton John, an especially close and longtime friend of the Versace family, is said to have gifted Allegra her first piano, further embedding her childhood in a world of artistry and opulence. But on the morning of July 15, 1997, Allegra's life and the future of the Versace empire would forever be altered. Her uncle Gianni had just returned from a walk to a nearby cafe, where he bought magazines and his morning coffee. As he reached the gates of his lavish home on Ocean Drive, he was shot twice in the head at close range, collapsing instantly on the stone steps in front of his residence. The scene was horrifying, blood pooling onto the grand entrance of his Mediterranean-style villa, the Versace name now tied to an act of violence that shocked the world. His longtime partner, Antonio Damasio, rushed out in disbelief while news of the assassination spread rapidly. The motive behind the killing remained unclear, though Cunanan, a known spree killer, had already murdered 4 other men before setting his sights on Gianni. The murder, committed in broad daylight, sent shockwaves through the fashion industry and left the Versace family in a state of unimaginable grief and chaos. For Allegra, who was just 11 years old, the tragedy was more than just a loss of a beloved uncle. It shattered the foundation of her world. Gianni had been a father figure to her, someone who understood her in ways others did not. His death left a deep emotional scar, and almost overnight, the family was thrust into a whirlwind of grief, media frenzy, and corporate pressure. With Donatella suddenly at the helm of the Versace empire and struggling with her own demons, Allegra was left to navigate her pain in silence, forced to grow up in the shadow of both mourning and expectation. By the time Allegra turned 18, another burden was placed on her shoulders, one that most people could only dream of. She inherited 50% of Versace, equaling almost $900 million today, instantly becoming one of the wealthiest young women in the world. Yet, rather than feeling empowered, she felt overwhelmed. With the inheritance came an unspoken expectation to step into the world of fashion and uphold her uncle's legacy, a responsibility she never truly wanted. Instead of embracing her new role, Allegra chose to pursue her own path, studying theater, literature, and art history, and for a while avoided immersing herself in the family business. The contrast between what was expected of her and what she actually wanted to do only deepened her internal conflict. While the world saw her as an heiress destined for the runway, she saw herself as someone desperately trying to escape it. The weight of grief, expectation, and public scrutiny took a serious toll on Allegra's mental and physical health. Over the years, her increasingly frail appearance sparked widespread speculation, and in 2007, it was revealed that she had been battling anorexia for years. The pressures of growing up under the watchful eye of both the media and the fashion industry had deeply affected her self-image. She withdrew from public life, seeking treatment in the United States, far from the constant comparisons and unattainable beauty standards of the fashion world and ever watchful and judgmental eye of the media surrounding her family back at home. Unlike her mother, who embraced the celebrity-driven nature of the Versace brand, Allegra has chosen a life of privacy. She began working behind the scenes for other fashion houses and enjoyed anonymity while still being involved with the industry she knew so well. Allegra has said, "I've spent time working with a non-Italian designer. I've been helping organize fashion shows, the advertising, also helping with the creative part. But the great part about the work is that I am no one. They pay me also, of course, for now not enough to live without worries, but I think you can get used to everything if you feel free, if you are yourself and not what others want you to be. If you don't see a photographer around every corner, if you don't bury yourself in cruel gossip that does so much harm." But in 2011, Allegra Versace officially joined the board of directors of Gianni Versace S.p.A., marking her formal involvement in the family business. Initially, she maintained a low profile within the company, focusing on understanding its operations and dynamics, preferring to work in the background and staying far from the fashion world's ruthless spotlight. But then in 2018, Allegra embraced a more active role, particularly with the brand's younger line, Versus. Her mother, Donatella Versace, noted that Allegra was a respected member of the board, with colleagues paying close attention to her insights, not because of her ownership stake, but due to her perceptive questions and observations. She is highly intelligent and a very keen observer. Everyone pays rapt attention whenever she takes the floor at a board meeting, Versace said in an interview with People magazine. Despite her significant involvement, Allegra continues to value her privacy, contributing to the brand's legacy while avoiding the public spotlight. She has never truly embraced the extravagant lifestyle associated with her last name, nor has she sought the kind of attention that many heirs to luxury brands crave. Instead, she has found a way to balance duty with personal fulfillment, ensuring the legacy of her family while also prioritizing her own well-being. In many ways, she has redefined what it means to inherit a fortune, proving that wealth does not have to dictate one's destiny. Allegra Versace's story is a testament to the hidden burdens of inheritance. To the outside world, she was born into a dream: unlimited wealth, high fashion, and celebrity status. Yet, beneath the surface, she has endured tragedy, relentless pressure, and personal struggles that few could understand. Her journey is not one of excess, but of survival, a quiet fight for self-identity in a world that constantly tried to define her. Allegra's life serves as a poignant reminder that wealth and privilege do not exempt one from pain, loss, or the search for meaning. Rather than becoming a prisoner to her legacy, she has chosen to redefine it on her own terms, and in doing so, she has found a different kind of success.